out. So at one time it was a major hotel for the conventions. Right across from it, we passed it on the way down, was the Blackstone Hotel. That was very famous for all events conventions, especially in 1920. And then over here we've got a continuation of Grant Park. The man up there on the horse holding the flag, his name is Major General John Logan, nicknamed Blackjack Logan. He's the man responsible for the creation of Memorial Day here in the United States. He was a Union soldier during the Civil War, along with his good buddy Ulysses S. Grant. Those two guys, along with Abe Lincoln, kept our country together during the Civil War. And then once all that dust had settled and everybody was going back in the right direction, they created Memorial Day to honor all those fallen soldiers. Now, there's 106 of these statues here. They have one name, though, the Agora. The Agora was created by a very gifted and talented Polish designer. Her name was Magdalena Abakanowicz. So if you go over there and you check it out, you'll see that not one of them is moving in the same direction as the one next to it. They're 9 feet tall. They're all made out of cast iron. The reason they're 9 feet tall is because it reminds the artist, Magdalena, of what it was like when she was a 9-year-old girl back home in her beloved Poland. She grew up in the Warsaw area, and if you know anything about the 1930s in Poland, the place was up for grabs, right? So you were going to stay there, you were going to probably end your life in a concentration camp, or if you got out, you had a chance of survival. So her parents took her as a 9-year-old, they left Warsaw in a hurry, and then she settled here in the United States. Eventually she picked Chicago for her lovely Agora, because Chicago has the largest Polish-American population anywhere in the United States, outside of Warsaw. So also worth noting, Mr. Robin Williams, a Chicago-born native, donated $750 million of his own money towards that project. So it's very special that we feel honored that she put that there right in lovely Grant Park. And this is what's left of the Illinois Central Rail Yard. All right, this entire parcel was all rail lines. They had the Illinois Central commuter line, which would go all the way down to New Orleans, Louisiana, and then back again. And you had the rest of it for freight transportation. And it was very important to Chicago because it helped us get back on our feet after that fire. It's our main mode of transportation, along with our other train line, the Northwestern. Over there is Christopher Columbus waving at you as you make your way onto Columbus Drive. So now you can start to see this beautiful skyline in a better perspective. You can see that Hilton Towers back there with the giant helipad and that big monster penthouse up on top. And again, I'll remind you, it's $10,000 a night. We had a very famous Queen of England stay there back in 1958. She still resides with us over in Buckingham Palace today. So she came here in 1958, that was her place to stay. Although I don't think it was 10 grand a night back then. But regardless, you can afford it. Over here is Soldier Field. You guys have probably seen this if you're fans of the NFL, or if you're fans of world soccer. We use this stadium extensively for soccer and football. On select weekends in October and November, we host international rugby events. And then usually during the summertime, we have concerts here all the time. At least once or twice a month, we have a major entertainment festival in there. We also have an annual beer festival. Sell tickets for about $40 a ticket, and then you're given admission into the stadium, and you're going from vendor to vendor out on the field. And you're sampling all this craft beer. It's really cool. The star of it is the Chicago Bears. Alright? They've been playing other games here since 1971. They leased the facility from the Chicago Park District. And that building, as you see it today, fully remodeled and retransformed, even with the new transformations, has been there since 1924. They took its official given name, Soldier Field, in 1927 in honor of the returning soldiers of World War I. Subsequently, all of the various wars and altercations of American military have been honored inside there. way in from the parking lot, and say it's Sunday morning and you're going over there for 12 noon kickoff, you go through the south end zone entrance, the first thing you see are 4 doughboys from World War I. You see plaques, monuments all throughout the stadium honoring World War II, Korea, Vietnam, Desert Storm. So it's also technically a museum, even though it doubles as a sports arena. And then way back when, before the Bears ever moved here, they played all their home games up at Wrigley Field, which is where the Cubs play. So they outgrew that. They needed more room. Came down here to a spacious 55,000 seat amphitheater. So it's just like the Roman Coliseum on the lake. And then today, with the renovations that were completed in 2003, we have a whopping 63,500 seats, which include skyboxes and luxury restaurants for those fans who don't want to be in the cold when they're watching their beloved Bears. Most of the people still gut it out the old-fashioned way. The entire western side of the stadium is open air, and then the brand new glass atrium-looking thing on the eastern side is where they have the suites. And to give you an idea, just one ticket for a suite is $300. That's not counting what you spend on the restaurant. All right. In here as well, if you look through this Gold Star Memorial, you'll see the former piece of the Roman Coliseum that's been sitting there since 1933. So again, the original stone and iconic colonnades here in 1924, and all that beautiful glass was completed in 2003. Gold Star Family Memorial and Park represents over 400 fallen Chicago police officers, both men and women who gave their lives in the line of duty. Each one of these trees that you see creating fresh oxygen represents a fallen police officer. The last official count that they released, over 425 trees. A lot of police. And as you can see, there's plenty of room for more. We just don't know when. This is the question. Yeah, let me plant another one any day now. So the way it's going right now, thankfully we're avoiding all those national headlines. We got the museum campus here, all built in 1933. Why did we do a giant museum campus in 1933? Our second World's Fair. All right, so we were celebrating 100 years as a city. So we called that the Century of Progress. Construction got underway during the 1920s, pre-Depression. So all that stuff got completed. And then 1933 rolled around. It was Memorial Day weekend. And everyone from around the world came to Chicago in the third year of the Great Depression. And we threw ourselves a 2-week-long celebration. We're going to let a little thing like the Depression stop a 100-year birthday party. So it was our second World's Fair. The first one we had was 1893, and that was all the way down south in Hyde Park. Our lovely marina, named in honor of Daniel Burnham. Daniel Burnham, of course, was the landscape architect responsible for creating all the parks. And then he had a very famous saying, make no small plans. And no small plans did he ever make. So that was one of the mantras for Chicago. Whoa! Hello! We call that the Illinois face slapper tree. It pretty much suffices itself when you give it that name. So Daniel Burnham, this is one of 12 marinas we have here on our lovely Chicago lakefront. If you add up all the boats in all 12 of the harbors, we have well over 5,000 boats. The largest functioning marina in all of the United States, even bigger than places like Miami or San Diego. That's quite a statement considering they live on the ocean. A lovely outdoor amphitheater awaits all of you. You can see it over there on the horizon. It's called the Pavilion at Northerly Island. It's a special treat to go over there, especially if you're a boater, because if you're holding a ticket and you want to take in that night, you can boat and dock your boat on the island shoreline. There's a public beach right over there. You get off at the beach, you can stroll into the grounds and listen to a concert. So this is our museum campus where you find the Adler Planetarium, stop number 5. And then we're going to make our way back out. We'll stop over at the Shedd Aquarium, and then we'll drop you guys all off in front of the Field Museum and Soldier Field. And then you can take yourselves out and walk around this beautiful campus, get some stunning photos of that beautiful skyline, or walk along into that marina and check out the expensive, beautiful boats. Again, that's just one of 12 marinas we have here. To give you an idea of what you're looking at now, that is called the Navy Pier. That is 3,300 feet long. And it is the #1 tourist attraction in all of Illinois right now. More people go there than anywhere else in Illinois. That's not an ocean. No, you're just over. That's Lake Michigan, buddy. Big enough to be an ocean. It is salt-free, sugar-free, and shark-free, which means there is no jaws out there. We do have land sharks on Chicago's streets, so be careful of the land sharks. Anybody for stop 5?